another train for another day trip. We're excited to go to Valladolid. Honestly, we move so fast that these names are really hard to keep up with, so thank you all for your patience. Every day is a new thing. Valladolid. It's early. I'll get back to you with the correct pronunciation, I promise. We are really excited though because we're going to be going to some wineries. One of the most popular wine regions of Spain is not too far from Madrid. There are some really epic wineries within an hour and a half of Madrid, so we just could not resist going to check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can travel with us around the world, because we'd love to hang out with you and it'd be so much fun to travel together. So remember to subscribe and let's go. All right, according to Google, it's Valladolid. So there you go. There's the official pronunciation according to Google.
I like doing day trips. We always try to do one or two if we can per week, which means like getting outside the city, seeing what's in the region, and that allows us to really explore the area a little bit more efficiently. And sometimes, you know, the gems are right on the outskirts, so this one's considered a long haul day trip, even though it's only a 1 hour bullet train ride. If you were to drive it, it'd be quite long, maybe 4 hours. So pretty easy though, 1 hour train ride. So we're excited to see what's in Valladolid. V for Vendetta. This
one reminds me so much of Universal Studios Hogwarts Express. I mean, look at it. It's basically the same thing. This passage was made in the 19th century. It's a really beautifully restored area where the shops, even though they're closed right now because it's early, are fully functional. And originally it was built for people in the upper class. As the streets got busier and busier, they wanted an enclosed place where there wasn't like horses running around and things like that, where they could shop inside to their heart's content. The story on that one is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Above me we have their traditional sized wines, which you can see. Traditional sized wine here, starting to get much bigger, and then times it by 9. Look at that thing. Wow, there's my hand. Can we check it? We made it into the Boutique Winery here. about 35 minutes taxi ride from Valladolid. I'm gonna change it up every time. It's Valladolid. Valladolid. Yeah, this is wine region, the whole stretch in between this town, Valladolid, and the one on the other side, which would be an hour away. It's all wineries. So we decided to take the bullet train to Valladolid and then taxi over rather than the little rougher path on the other side. But this place had tons of amazing reviews. It's got a 5-star hotel, and it also has a Michelin star restaurant, so called Taller. Pretty cool there.
We love wineries. We watched Robert Sullivan's masterclass on wine. We watched
The Somm videos
on wine.
Mm-hmm.
So we always love to go around and tour different wineries and taste the kind of region. We are definitely nowhere near experts, but I mean, it's still fun.
Expert status isn't necessarily
You don't
our
have
goal.
to be an expert to drink it.
Our goal, yeah, it's good to know, develop the appreciation. You know, you learn little things, like for instance, we learned a few little tricks about alcohol percentages based on how to view a glass and see how much alcohol's in it without even testing it, and then also like picking out the wine that you would choose, so it saves you lots of money because you're not picking wine that you wouldn't want to drink based on your preferences, and so little tricks like that.
Today we're having a 3-hour tour and it will all be in Spanish, so it is a wonderful opportunity for us to practice our Spanish and to kind of, you know, connect the dots from what we already know about the winemaking process. So it'll be a mostly visual tour. When we don't understand what's being said, I don't know a lot of wine words in Spanish, so there's that.
Vino.
What else is there really?
Muy bien.
Y un más copa. So we're just at the bar, just hanging out until the tour starts. Our taxi was 40 euros here. We're gonna have them call us a taxi on the way back. Jeremy had the Spanish tortilla, which is the
Spanish omelet, basically.
Potato.
Fantastic. It's like potatoes and onions with like, I don't know. It's more of a what is that?
kind of like a quiche
Yes.
without a crust.
It's more of a quiche, really fluffy, lots of butter. This one had onions in it. Oh, so nice.
Yeah, Jeremy definitely recommends that one.
Yeah.
If you're here.
This is just like, you know, go-to breakfast food at the bar here. Yeah, so that'll be fantastic.
The place is called Arzuaga.
I think we're gonna get to see some velvet deer and some wild boar that are here. We'll see.
We're excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Jose. You can get Jose or eggnog. I think I can check this one. I think I can check it. According to checking regulations, 61 inches by 29 inches, 50 pounds, 9 liters, where a gallon is 8 pounds, equates to, works perfect.
Are we getting one?
It'll work. I think it'll work. And we'll just get an insurance. We're gonna get insurance to the wazoo on that one. Because if it spills, not only do we lose the wine, we're paying for whoever bag we ruin. 27 liters. I stand corrected. I was thinking of the other one, but then this one clearly is 27 liters. This one is 9.
So we're here on the estate property. We just had everything explained to us in English by our amazing guide. The owner of this vineyard actually still lives here, and he's 80 years old, and we actually saw him leaving in his car this morning on the way in, which is great. Our guide said that his passion is very much retained, and he loves checking in on everything every day. They initially bought this property for hunting, and that's why they have the deer here as well as wild boar. You can actually go on a hunt 6 times a year for the boar and 1 time a year only for the deer. They open it up for hunting, but other than that, it's vineyards, which were planted about 35 years ago is when they started, and they're one of the biggest, fastest growing vineyards in the area. So we are on the 3-hour tour, which includes a visit with the boar and the deer and seeing them up close. Obviously, we have some vineyards all throughout this area. We drove about 5 miles from the hotel and restaurant.
That's the foot of the goat.
We're about ready to enter into a protected gate area with over 1,000 wild boar.
Very important to close this fence because if not, they go outside and they can eat the muflon.
So I was just checking real fast to make sure insurance policy is okay before we come in here. End up with wild boar rabies.
Look, we call them the rayones for the lines on the skin. Raya goes for line in Spain. We call them the child of the wild boar is the rayon because the skin is really characteristic, all of these lines, you know. Population is too big. To control a little bit that population, we have to do from 4 to 6 huntings per year. Okay. Also, the mother sometimes gives like 10 or 12 little rayones per birth. So that's a. They are not like dangerous for us. The problem is that they eat too much, and sometimes they eat the food of the. It's like Manhattan. Sometimes we have here. All of the summer, the deer comes to these trees. A golden deer and to have 180 points or plus, the most important assets are, you know, the thickness, those other things. Sí. Bueno, este se llama Paco, es amigo nuestro.
Wow,
Look at that one.
what a powerful.
It's a friend of us, this one. Yeah.
What a powerful.
He wants to do the wine tasting back at the winery. He wants to come back. Okay. That's spicy. That's not good for him. So during the summer, he's going to go for the trees, you know, to get rid of that. They are changing the skin from a darker skin for the tough winter we have here. They are changing the skin into a like brighter skin for the summer. Están cambiando su oscura piel del invierno a una piel mucho más clarita para el verano, ¿no?
Way behind you. A little close.
Aquí en verano hay días de 40 grados.
That was a tad bit close for me.
That horn is from the last year. Este que viene ahora no la ha cambiado aún, ¿eh? No es que la lleva avanzada. Fijaros la diferencia de... Aquí tenemos un calor luego en verano que ella se mete el dulzor.
I just have it on video.
Así es, dulzores. Ya, pero las heladas tenemos las torres. Si os habéis fijado muchas torres que hay por la carretera que como aspas. Estos son torres de antihelado. Esas ahora en primavera, para evitar la helada primavera, las enchufamos.
They're so curious.
Hacen que el aire más cálido se quede abajo de la uva.
So these deer are actually imported from North America and Canada.
You like rosé wine? I love rosé wines. Rosé wines, 52 to 58 degrees para que las levaduras o the yeast to start.
Tour of a winery, I learn new things. It's really cool. I feel like I'm expanding my knowledge. This is called the Wine Sanctuary, where they have all the vintage wines from each year. Really cool idea.
The colleagues are working on the bottling machines. So blending, just watch out afterward the walls. We connect those tanks from these tanks to the bottling. Okay? Vais a ver de la pared saliendo unos tubitos donde conectamos ya estos tanques con el embotellado. ¿De acuerdo? Una vez que está en el embotellado, lo primero que tenemos que hacer es embotellar, encorchar. We put the cork and afterwards we put it inside of these boxes. I know it by the cork. They are doing the young wine because it's the only wine without date on the cork.
Start with the rosé.
While we are tasting the second one, the Pavo Fermentino, I'm gonna go fast.
My favorite part. I'm excited.
Eso es una característica de tipicidad ribera y esta es la forma más rápida y fácil de discernir un vino. Vale, perfect. I see everyone fine. Perfect. We have always to try to avoid the contact of our hand into the wine. Why? Because our internal hot, is not good to get in contact with wine. As I always say, we have always the mundo del vino. Pues agarrarlo por la base, por el tallo, el margen correcto, no es que te acostumbres. Also to do a little technical analysis, as we're going to do, it's also necessary to hold the glass like that, from the base or from this little part. That's the better thing to do. Vamos a empezar. Let's check the alcohol lines. Brightness, okay, visually wise. Let's check. Vamos a hacer pequeños movimientos.
And there's a hue. There's always a hue right around the outside. It's kind of like it's an alcohol hue, but it's like a dome. Kind of like a dome on the outside around the ring. So it's really fun to see. And then the thickness of the alcohol lines determines how much alcohol it actually has in there, which is really fun. And then looking at the transparent, how dark it is. And then of course, the nose first. Lasts the longest, the nose.
First of all, the brightness. It's not an easy wine.
This wine is the same grape as the last one, but in a different region. This is from La Mancha, which, if any of you grew up going to theater like I did, you know Don Quixote. If you like literature, you know Don Quixote literature. Cervantes. So it comes from La Mancha, like Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha. Now, while we're waiting for our tapas, I would like to share my inspiration of the day, which is that the life coach in me is paying attention and listening always. And so we just got done discussing how the tiniest changes can really influence the entire direction of a wine, of the finished product. The kind of barrel, the time it spends in the barrel, if it rains too much, if it rains too little, if it, like, all of these different things may seem so small, but what I love about wineries is everything is measured and so specific. They have machines out there to heat up the air if it gets too cold to preserve the vines, which is just incredible. Like, there is so much thought and intention into the tiniest details, and I've really found for myself and for the people that I work with, it's those tiny changes that really create the biggest difference. If we go and we just say everything's wrong and everything needs to change, we don't actually make much progress. It's too big, it's too much. But if we really look specifically and we become an expert at the small changes in our life, it adds up so much more quickly, and we really make progress and change and control the direction that we're going so much more, and we end up so much happier with the final product. So that's my, encouragement for the day. As Jeremy reminded me, because I was thinking of it, but I didn't tell you. The coolest thing is that the best wine has taken its time. And I found that to be true for my life. When I make changes and sit with things and make small changes over time and really allow time, like trust time, right? Trust the process. Once you know you have a process that works a little bit, you trust the process, you're going to end up with a great result. You're going to cheers me?
We're looking for the fat and slow tiers. That's when you know you got a winning wine. In my opinion, the thicker, more alcoholic, for me, is more flavor. Not necessarily always the case, but that's typically what my palate requests. So, tortoise in the hare, fat and slow, wins the day. Deep down inside, I feel like a Galapagos turtle. I'll hang out on an island, won't move very far, fat and slow, wins the day. The croquette was fantastic from the Michelin Star restaurant with bacon in it. It was like a mashed potato, cooked mashed potato. Oh, so good. All right, babe, let's go.
Wait, how are we going to carry that?
Well, mine needs your help.
It needs a pillow at least. There it goes. Adios. We've loved hanging out with you guys today. We were flying the drone one last time from literally across the train station because, we didn't quite get enough time here. I'd recommend, an entire day, maybe stay the night. The winery was incredible. I had a really good time. It was really fun, really informative, really fun to see the animals too. Very sad that they do hunting there, but I accept everyone. Travel is a practice in engaging your skills of acceptance for people who live differently than you, and if you allow yourself to be open to that, you can learn a lot about yourself and about other people and about humans in general. So I think it's always important, if we want to be accepted, to accept other people and their customs and way of life and traditions, and be a grateful observer initially, as opposed to some kind of adamant enforcer of our own values or rules upon other people. I wish we could have seen the vineyards in this weather. It is glorious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we could have spent a few more hours in the vineyards with this weather because it was so misty and overcast this morning. But overall, a really tremendous trip. Really thankful we got the chance to go, and it really rounded off our Madrid trip really well. The taxi back, in case anyone's wondering, was 65 euros. So we paid about 25 more, or about 20 more than on the way there, which we expected. It was a private vehicle, so that was nice. So the train tickets were 110. So the total cost from Madrid ends up being about 220 euros, I think, somewhere around there, give or take. And then of course we spent a good deal on wine for the rest of our trip in Spain, because of course you have to. Once you visit the winery, you feel so much more connected to it. And so we have our work cut out for us, but as our guide said, he believes in us, so we should be good to go.
Vámonos. Okay. Vámonos.
Okay, don't forget the wine. We almost forgot the wine in the taxi. That would have been a tragic mistake.